Going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about the key to the success of the Atlanta Falcons offense going in for the 2022 season. So guys, before we get into that, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people could come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So before we get into the actual video, I want to send my condolences out to Jeff Gladney, um, young man, 25 years old, played with Arizona Cardinal, died in a car wreck this morning. Just send out condolences out to his families. Real young, bright future ahead of him. So I want to start off saying that. Then I also want to say Happy Memorial Day to the families of all the service members who paid the ultimate sacrifice to serve the country that we live in today. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the topic of the day. And like I said, the key to success um, for the Atlanta Falcons offense this year, and I really believe that it's going to be the running game. So if you just go back to Arthur Smith, 2 years as the offensive coordinator in Tennessee, um, that team was pretty much sitting around the running game. Everything he did, all the plays he called, the passing game, his success he had in the red zone, all those things was tailored off of that running game, and the numbers that you look at from 2019-2020 season actually backs that up. So in 2019, the Tennessee Titans actually ran for Derrick Henry ran for 1,540 yards. Dion Lewis ran for 209 yards. Ryan Tannehill ran for 185 yards. Yes, so you include the quarterback into the rushes as well. Um, that's almost 2,000 yards rushing. So you put that in perspective. What the Falcons ran last year, about 1,400 rushing yards total. You can see the big difference on that running game. Then you go to 2020, where we had a actually 2,000-yard rusher in Derrick Henry by himself. Ryan Tannehill actually ran for 266 yards, and Jeremy McNichols actually ran for 204 yards. Yes, the same Jeremy McNichols that we just picked up on the free agency wire. So that's the basis of um, Arthur Smith and what he wants to do. Of course, you can't bring in a Derrick Henry or workhorse like that, but you can generate that kind of production if you use a stable of running backs, and you can actually bring in guys after guys to let them come in and do what they do. You can actually still generate that kind of running game. Like I said, you want kind of hard to recreate somebody like a Derrick Henry, a big back like that, explosive, powerful, um, picks up yardage after tackles, but at the same time, you can bring in, like I said, a staple of guys to actually come in and actually do the job that you want them to do. All right, so we talking about the running game. Obviously, the offensive line definitely is going to play a part in the running game, correct? So those same 2 years, if you look at 2019, um, and this is all Pro Football Focus. So if you go and look at any other rankings for somewhere else, it could be different. But for Pro Football Focus, the Titans O line was ranked 8th in the lead in 2019 and 15th in the lead in 2020. So between they were in the top 10 in 2019 and 2020. Actually, when they had a 2,000-yard running back, they was actually in the middle of the pack. So we definitely will have to see some production from our offensive line to actually be able to get to that running game that we want to get. Last year, the Falcons Once again, according to Pro Football Focus, was ranked 27 in offensive line. So we definitely need to see some improvement there. But this is the key. This is the key where we want to actually be able to um, develop that running game. If you go back to the last two seasons, the Atlanta Falcons went to the playoff, which was, of course, our Super Bowl season. The Falcons ran for 1,928 yards. We also had 1,000-yard running back. That was the last time we had 1,000-yard running back, was Devontae Freeman. So, and then in 2017, we ran for 1,847 yards. We did not have 1,000-yard running back, but Devontae Freeman ran for about like 800 and something yards, and then Tevin Coleman came in and ran for about 600 and some yards. So together, those guys still actually rushed for 1,000 yards. Big stat for those 2 years. Our quarterback position, of course, was Matt Ryan, and 2016 he ran for 35 yards, and in 2017 he ran for 32 yards. So of course, Matt Ryan is not a rusher. So if you go into this offense, what Arthur Smith is trying to actually implement now, like I said, you go back to Tennessee, where Ryan Tannehill ran for over 200 yards in both of those years, where Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator. You can see how you can actually translate the rushing attack for their quarterback as well. And we definitely have some mobile quarterbacks. Of course, Marcus Mariota. That's just his bread and butter. That's what he did at Oregon. That's what he did in his first couple of years at Tennessee. So we'll definitely be able to easy transition for him to actually come in and continue what he was doing when he actually played for Arthur Smith back in Tennessee. So I can actually definitely see the running game actually improving um, because of the quarterback position, because of the mobility of the quarterback position. But at the end of the day, like we always said, it's going to be about the offensive line. The offensive line definitely got to improve. Um, that's why, of course, they brought in the competition. I know some people felt like they should have brought in some veteran competition more, especially for the guard position, the left guard position. They did bring in Justin Schaefer. They brought in Kobe Gossick. It's going to be interesting to see how much those guys can actually push Jalen Mayfield to actually um, to see if he's going to actually improve, or one of those guys going to take his spot. Also, that right tackle position with Caleb McGarry, I thought they did bring in some veterans in that spot. They brought in Elijah Wilkins and a Jermaine Fetty to actually compete for that right tackle spot. And then, of course, the center spot, we still already got Drew Dahlman, who actually, if you go back to Drew Dahlman at Stanford, um, that Stanford team that last year he played, they gave him no sack. So, and I think his pass protection is probably better than his run protection. So his run blocking. So he's definitely gonna have to improve in that. But I think that's gonna be a good competition as well between Matt Hennessy and Drew Dahlman. But the offensive line is definitely key in the running game. But if you look at the four running backs that I have on the screen today, Jeremy Nichols, um, Damon Williams, Cordell Patterson, and Tyler Algier. It's going to be interesting to see if any of these guys going to be like the workhorse, like a Derrick Henry. I could see Tyler Algier being that guy. Um, However, we saw the production that Cordell Patterson had last year. He's like a Swiss Army knife. We can actually move him all over the field because of his receiver background. He could definitely be on the field with any one of these running backs. Um, and then you have to pick your poison, being able to match up with CP, our weapons on the outside, and then our running game as well. Um, this is going to be the key, though. I really believe if the Atlanta Falcons can actually get their running game going, it's going to open up so much more for this offense. Um, the weapons outside is going to um, be able to do the things they do, especially our phenom Kyle Pitts, our tight end, um, the young rookie Drake London, Brian Evers. I think he's going to be able to show more what he's able to do, and then utilizing some of these guys out of the backfield. If you look at McNichols and Williams, they're great on third down coming out the backfield. and Tyler Algier just a young wrecking ball. I did not want to leave out Quadri Olison, but I think he's probably one of the guys on a uphill battle because, like I said, it's not somebody that this regime invested in. If you go back to my last video, it's only 15 guys left from that Dan Quinn Thomas Dimitrov scheme. So Quadri Allison can definitely make this squad if he go out and play any of these guys. But I definitely know that that these four guys here on this board is going to be able to bring some juice to the team. Different element, like I said, Williams and Nichols going out the backfield. CP being able to do all the different things he can do, and then Tyler Algier, um, young rookie that had over 1,600 rushing yards last year with 23 touchdowns. So it's definitely going to help out in the red zone as well, because now you have to factor in the running game along with the big body receivers and pass catchers that we have with the Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Brian Edwards, Auden Tate. Um, and then you have to factor in, for an example, a lot of teams like to drop eight players in the backfield in the red zone. You have to factor in the run game now, especially factoring in the quarterback being in that position as well. So I love the way this team is constructed right now. We still have to see how the pieces work, but the running game is going to be the key. Offensive line is, without saying, has to improve. But if these guys can get their running game going, like Archie Smith wants to do, run the ball, play out the play action, dictate the game, time possession, the line of scrimmage, and just score points in the red zone, I think we'll definitely be where we want to be. So, guys, you guys let me know what you think about the running game. Do you think it's the key as well? Um, without saying, we know the offensive line has to improve, but if the offensive line does improve, I think the running game is going to be the key to the Atlanta Falcons' success on offense this year. And this is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.